I hate to even say this because I think I was looking forward to this game more than anybody else, but EA Sports and the NCAA 24 game is having some serious, and I mean some serious problems. And you know what it involves? These players in the NIL. I didn't plan on making this video today, but however, we got some big time breaking news and also some big time bad news on the NCAA 24 game that we've literally been waiting for 10 plus years. It's not going to come out this summer, but it was supposed to, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. It is supposed to come out next summer. And I can't speak for you, but me myself, I think it's awesome because growing up, that was arguably my favorite game. I didn't play a lot of video games growing up. I just played some sports games here and there, and that was a game I always played and always loved. It's sad they did away with it, and fun fact for you, I haven't even played, I got a PS5, but I have not even played it in about 1.5 to 2 years. Maybe we got some gamers in the chat, let me know if y'all feel this way, but I don't know if it's the fact that I've grown up or maybe it's just the way things are going, but I feel like video games, they don't hit the same anymore. And yet again, it could go back to maybe I'm just older and I've matured, but still, right now, I don't even want to play a certain sports video game. Growing up also, now that I think about it, this is probably my favorite game when I was growing up. I love playing NBA 2K. But now I'm being dead serious. You couldn't pay me to play NBA 2K. It sucks. Alright, I'm getting a little sidetracked. I'm not here to talk about video games in general. That's a different video for a different day. What we're here to talk about is the bad news that has been released. And the funniest and ironic part about this is, you guys are going to remember, the last time we talked about this game, I told you guys this is going to happen. I said, hey, you might want to pay attention to this because it's not a done deal quite just yet, and there's going to be some problems that arise. And well, I guess I predicted the future in a bad way. Those problems have arose. Would it be a rose or would it be a rise? I don't know. We're going to roll with it. You get my points. This is currently, as to when I'm speaking, an ongoing developing story. We're going to get into it. I found this a really intriguing topic. As always, if you like college football content, we'd love to have you part of our community. Consider joining, hitting that subscribe button. If you don't want to, that is cool too. All right, Matt, blah, blah, shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Crap, I forgot to say this in the intro. This will be the one and only topic we're going to talk about in this afternoon's video because I just think it's that important. So if you was expecting some normal jam-packed video, that won't happen, but stay tuned in a couple of days. You know most of our videos are jam-packed. But anyways, Matt, shut the crap up. Let's just get into it. Sorry about that. What did I tell you guys a couple months ago? What have I told you guys the past couple of years? Let me give you a quick refresher. They've been saying for the past, it feels like 2 or 3 years, hey, we're working on the new NCAA game. It's going to come out, blah, 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 blah. Originally, for those of y'all that don't know this, it was supposed to come out this summer, but with all the complications going on, they delayed it to next summer. And I didn't think too much of it. I was like, hey, just bring it back. Take your time. We need the game ASAP. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys. If that game does come out, NCAA 24, I will be playing. I'm going to be back on my game and stuff. That would be awesome. I think we can all agree. But the one thing I told you that I thought was a little fishy and I thought they were going to have problems doing is, okay, they got to pay every single player they put into this game. Think about that. Every single player, they got to pay independently. And here's where things really, and I mean really start to get messy because I don't think anybody with a functional brain thinks it's fair to pay Caleb Williams the same amount that you're going to pay some third stringer that is never going to play. That's not fair. It makes zero sense whatsoever to do that. I knew that wouldn't slide by because it's not going to happen. That's not how life works. In the Caleb Williams thing, that's just an example. Think about if you're the starting quarterback for Alabama. Well, heck, I don't think the third string punter should be getting the same amount of money as Bryce Young would be getting at Alabama. I could give you more examples. I think you get the point. That is something I've been waiting to see how it was going to play out. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that scenario I just laid out for you, it's coming to life. I hate to even say this because I think I was looking forward to this game more than anybody else, but EA Sports and the NCAA 24 game is having some serious, and I mean some serious problems. And you know what it involves? These players in the NIL. I would say at this point in time, there's a pretty decent chance this game does not come out next year. Why is that, you may ask? Oh, because of the breaking news that has just been released that college football players are discussing potential holdouts over NIL payments. Let me break this down to you. You better lock in and pay attention because we're getting right into things. In May, it was reported that the combined compensation for players who opt into the video game is expected to be roughly $5 million. $5 million? That sounds like a crap ton of money. But think about it when you divide that out to every single college football team and every single player on that team. You know what that equates to? only $500 per player. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for example, let's use Caleb Williams again. Do you know how many people in California or just USC fans are going to buy that game because of Caleb Williams so they can play with him? I can tell you this much, it's going to be more than $500 worth. So me, myself, this is just me. If I'm Caleb Williams and I'm told, hey, they're going to pay me $500 to put me in this video game, no, I'm declining it. I'm sorry. I don't care about being in no video game. You got to pay me what I'm worth. Paying Caleb Williams only $500 to be in a video game where he's going to sell probably $500,000 worth of sales at bare minimum, that is a slap in the face and it's disrespectful to him. That's not even being greedy or anything like that. It is a bad financial decision and you're letting a company make millions of dollars off of you. Think about it. A company is going to pay Caleb Williams, hey, we'll give you $500 to put you in our game, and they're going to make millions off of his name and likeness. Check out what Oklahoma's quarterback, General Booty, that is his real name by the way, he had to say. That's a tough one. We've actually been talking about that in the locker room. So we've all talked about it because we want the game to come out, obviously. But we were saying if they come out and try to lowball and say we want to give everyone $200, well, guys maybe like you mentioned, Caleb Williams, may say no and then he's not in the game. Then all the USC fans who wants to buy the game and not play with him, you know? Continuing along here, and then he does it, then someone else does it, and it's a domino effect and it's ruined. So I think that's going to be very critical to see how they put it together. They're going to have one price, and I say like 600 to 800 would get everyone in. But some of the big guys, you know, that deserve it, that have been playing starting for a couple of years, put up the numbers, they may have to sit down and negotiate with them because that's going to ruin the game if they don't have some of these star guys in there. That is a great point, and I couldn't have said it any better myself. And what do you know? I found another quote from General Booty. He even said the same thing I said. I don't think people are going to come out asking for crazy numbers, but some guys aren't going to want to get paid what maybe a third-string freshman is getting paid, and I don't blame them. So for all of you that want to fault me and say I'm in the wrong, this is coming from a D1 player himself. He's even looking at it from the same way I am. It's not about money. It's about being disrespected and used. There's no way Caleb Williams should agree to only being in the game for $800. Me personally, if I'm him, I'm not asking for $1 million because he's going to be a multimillionaire, but I'm saying, hey, y'all got to throw me about $80,000. Here's an interesting quote. When asked about what everybody should be paid, here's what a running back for Kansas had to say. I honestly think that $500 is a pretty good amount, but other players like UAB's running back, he's just stated he doesn't even care. He just wants to be in the game. Obviously, just having the video game back itself would be okay with me. I appreciate the NIL for the NCAA game, but I really just want to play the video game and just get back out there because it's been gone for almost 10 years now. Check this out. Here's what Stanford's cornerback had to say. Quote unquote, I feel like some players should get paid more based off of how much their name, image, and likeness is being used. But going back to the point I've harped to you guys time after time after time, that is the tricky part about all of it. You're not going to find an exact number of how many sales and how much revenue Caleb Williams is going to generate for this game. You don't know if some random dude in Ohio is going to buy the game because he just happened to be a USC fan. You see what I'm saying? You don't know who's buying the game for what certain player or what reason. I could sit up here for the next 20 minutes and read off comments from different players at different schools all over the country, but everybody has a different opinion about it. That's all there is to it. The one thing I found in common, though, that a lot of these lower players that probably don't have a lot of these NIL deals, they're just like, hey, just bring the game back, give me my $300, $500, and I'm cool with it. And I understand that, but for guys like Quinn Ewers, guys like Caleb Williams, I don't think they're going to have the same mindset. Who else? J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, Blake Corum, you know, your big-time star players all over the country. Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State, you get the point. Cade Klubnik, Clemson, Joe Milton, there's no way they have the same mindset and attitude. And it doesn't even matter what they think. Their agent is going to be the one making this decision for them, and I know he's not going to agree to it. No agent representing these big-time stars at big-time schools is going to say they're okay with them just getting $600 in a free video game or something. With all that bad stuff being said and all the bad news coming out, where does that put us with the current up-to-date situation with EA Sports and really NCAA 24? To me, at least, I think it puts us in a much worse situation than I originally thought going into this. Because when news came out that they were going to pay all these players, I thought they were going to pay them like $4,000 a piece. I didn't get that number from anywhere. That's just a number that I made up in my mind. And then I thought for your big-time star players, they would probably negotiate their own deals. But the bad part about this is this game, NCAA 24, only has $5 million to work with. And that's only good enough to pay every single player $500. Well, let's say Quinn Ewers, he reaches out to NCAA 24. He's like, hey, man, I want $200,000 to be in the game. Well, here's the problem with that, guys. Where are they going to get that money? Are they just going to pay him the money hoping they make it back, or is there a set budget for the game, like they can only use $5 million? Because if that's the case and they want to keep Quinn Ewers, they're going to give him the $200K, but then the pay for everybody else is going to decrease to like $300. Same thing for Caleb Williams. That's where things get really messy, and I don't want to dive too far into detail with all that. Or, and this is a big or, just like this comment says right here, this could be a viable option. Just don't put them in the game, LOL. And yeah, that is how you could solve all of this. To all the guys like Caleb Williams, Quinn Ewers that declined to be in the game for $500, you just don't put them in there and you still release it. But then it goes back to this. You don't want to release an NCAA football game without star quarterbacks and star players. The star quarterbacks, star running backs, star wide receivers, star whoever are the reason we buy the game. Think about how miserable it would be to play with USC in the game without Caleb Williams. And that would just be one of the examples. My guess, I would say about, at least right now is where we're standing, 75 to 100 players wouldn't be cool with only getting paid $500 and they would back out of the game. You really think a 5-star recruit who just got paid $1 million in NIL deals that is playing at Ohio State, Georgia, Bama, or Texas is going to be cool with taking a deal for $500? I'm asking you a question. Do you think they'd be cool with that? I'm going to answer it for you. No. And I've seen a lot of people in the comments and all over Twitter saying, who cares, not a big deal, just don't put them in the game or release it. And I have to strongly disagree. I do think it's a big deal. Not having star players in a video game is a big deal to me, but maybe y'all feel different. I'm extremely curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But roll with it.